Welcome to the Straight from the Source's Mouth podcast. Frank talk about sex and dating.
All right. Welcome to episode number 17 of Straight from the Source's Mouth podcast. On this episode, we're going to thank all of you wonderful listeners. We're going to talk about online profile suggestions and tips, and then some of the apps that are out there. And let's get started. All right. So I just want to say first that we have Carissa, of course. I should have mentioned that too.
Welcome, everyone. We're glad you're here for our last of the season.
Yes, and that is the other thing too. This is the end of season 1, and of course there's only a few weeks left, so we'll be back in January with season 2. But I want, in the thank the listeners section, I just want to mention that you guys are amazing, and we have at least one listen in every continent in the world, so that's really cool. We have, actually I'm going to pull up the list. We have 90% in the U.S., or North America, I should say. And we have 56 downloads, or 5% in Europe, 32 in Asia, and then Oceania, we have 2. Africa, we have 1. South America, 1. So I know it's not many, but it's very cool that we have some in all the locations. And
we've gone international, Tamara. It's awesome.
It is very cool. And we're actually in 19 countries within those regions, and then 224 cities and counting. And I will say, because, I don't know if it's because we're based in this area, the Virginia, D.C. area, most of our downloads are from that area, but we also have Las Vegas, so shout out to Las Vegas, Nashville, Tennessee, and San Antonio are some of our higher ones as well.
Vegas and Nash Vegas. All right.
Hey. All right. And yeah, thank you very much. And we have a Facebook group, and we'd love to hear, if there's anything you want to hear for season 2. And we'd, of course, appreciate likes, follows, subscribes, and love for you to leave a review, especially if you love the show.
Yeah, make any suggestions that you'd like for us, topics for us to cover in season 2 below. After this podcast, that would be fantastic. We would love it.
Yes, we would. All right, so I think we should jump right to online profile suggestions. We talked about this, we're both on a couple apps, and just stuff we've noticed or stuff that could be improved. And actually, why don't we just start with your suggestion first, Carissa? What were you going to say about it?
Well, I was going to say, we're now in the holiday season. People are out, they're festive, they're, putting their best face forward. Now's a great time to get people to take your picture, get a current profile picture while you're dressed up and you're festive and happy and doing fun things. It's a great time, really, to get a good and current profile pic to put up. I know, especially for men, it's hard to get a good profile picture that you take yourself. And now's the time. You're out. You have all these people that are all about Instagram and filters and this and that, know how to take a really good profile picture. So I would really definitely say, have a friend take a picture while you're out and having fun. So that way you have a good current picture of yourself, and one, especially when you're smiling.
Yes, that is definitely key.
I think, really important.
We talked about this.
Photographers.
We're lots of amateur photographers that love to take pictures out there. So be sure to ask one that's in your group that does it all the time. And I do want to say, with we mentioned with pictures, you definitely want the smiling one first, or at least a really good picture of yourself, the first one, because some people just swipe automatically on the picture. They don't necessarily go down further and read. So you really want to put your best foot forward and have the best pick be your first pick.
Yeah. Well, and Bumble has an algorithm that says whichever one people look at the most, they'll move that to the most popular. They'll move it up. So,
okay.
Which is really interesting. But the second thing that I was going to say about, especially for men, is really actually write something in the bio about yourself. Anything.
Yeah.
Hey, I like to go camping, or hey, I like to go bike riding, or, I'm a big NFL fan, or whatever it is, just anything, but not nothing.
Yeah. When women like to read more so than men potentially. So just put some stuff in there. And like she said, if you put stuff you like to do, then you have an easy topic to start talking about. And I do want to add back to the pictures real quick. Put pictures of yourself as you are now. I talk to lots of guys, and they have complaints about women that put pictures from 10 years ago. Yeah, they're great pictures of you, but if it's not what you look like now, wouldn't you rather have someone like you for who you are? And yes, you may have gained weight, you may have gotten a little older, but if a guy likes you because of how you look now, you're going to enjoy the date. If you put old stuff and then they are disappointed when they meet you, you'll not have a second date. You'll feel bad about yourself. So just go ahead and put the pictures exactly as you are. And the people that like you as you are will choose you, and then you will enjoy your dates more. So any comments about that, or you just totally agree?
No, I absolutely agree. Is making sure that your pictures are current, or if they're not, make a comment about if there's a really fun picture of you from something that you really enjoyed. For example, you went. I'll just say myself. I went to a Kentucky Derby thing, and there's a really fun picture of me and my brother, and it's from a few years ago. So I do comment that, one, it's my brother. Two, it's from whatever year it was from.
Yeah, and that makes sense too. You're not
just so that people know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I would totally agree with that one. And then, I think that's
the other thing. I was just going to say, the other thing I was going to say is, when you actually put some dialogue or put some verbiage in your bio, especially for men. I mean, Bumble itself is women have to respond first. So when they just say hey or hi or whatever it is, that really gives you an open, really anything you can say really anything and to respond to that. And the best thing to do is go back to their bio and make a funny comment about what they, or ask them any question. Ask the woman a question about what they said in their bio. It's the best way to start a conversation. So, I mean, you can really respond with any and everything when they just say, hey, how are you? So,
and that's
really open. Don't be intimidated by it.
Yeah, that's how I used to start mine. And then it's just to put the ball in the guy's court. But yeah, it's nice to just, it shows as a woman, when a man shows interest and looks at your profile and talks about it, they're going to go up in the status and ranking. Like, we are going to prefer people that actually read the bio and seem interested in us. So, men out there, a good thing to think about too. Any other suggestions, or should we just go on to apps in general? What do you think?
I think that was it that I had.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main thing. And then the next part I want to talk about is just the apps that are out there. I had a friend who, and a lot of people say this, like, oh my God, I don't want to do online dating, would never do it. But the whole point of online dating is just to open up a new pool of people for you that you would have never met. And it's not like you have to stay online forever and just have pen pals and chat. To me, the idea is you have a new person that you could potentially meet. You meet sooner than later, maybe after a phone call, to rule out some stuff if there's incompatibilities or whatever. Or you can do a video chat, which I used to be against. But if you want to at least see each other and be like, okay, you look like your picture, even though I'm not photogenic, I don't enjoy that video part of it. But that's a good thing too. But it's just a way to have a new pool of people.
I think it's really good to have, maybe at least, I don't know. Sometimes I have a conversation with somebody before we meet. Sometimes I don't. It just depends. If I'm just meeting for coffee, I'm like, all right, let's meet for coffee. Hour, done.
Yeah, and I've definitely done that too. I've met people within the same day. So, I mean, I've done the full gamut of it too. But yeah, and then the other thing, as you mentioned before, which is not an app, but I just want to say real quick, we mentioned the meetup thing. There's always events for stuff you actually like to do. So you're more inclined to meet people that have the same interests and like that. So it's a good way. And we can talk about more of that after, but I just want to mention some of the apps out there. And a friend of mine said that she doesn't even know how to get started on them. So I was just going to first list some of the main ones out there, and I'm sure there's tons more. But I know there's Bumble, Plenty of Fish, Tinder, Happen, Hinge, and then Facebook dating as well. So, and I know, and we talked about Bumble, where that's the one where women have to start the conversation to get going. So if you both swipe, the whole Tinder started this with a swiping left, swiping right. So if you're not interested, you swipe left. If you are, you swipe right. And if they also swipe right, you get to start talking. And with Bumble, it's the same way, but there's a little more, you actually have some words. I haven't done Tinder, but apparently it may be just pictures or maybe a few words or something. But and then I've known people that met someone on all the apps, and I don't even know what else to say about them except for that's the general way it works. And you just go on and you can set up an account literally in 5 minutes. You just pick some pictures, say some words, and then of course there's Match and eHarmony, the old school ones. Anything you want to say about apps in general?
So the only thing that I have to say about that is I've heard, I know eHarmony's profile, it takes a long time.
Yeah.
You have to go through and answer, because it's psychological based, like trying to actually match people based on personality types, etc.
Yeah.
There are a lot of questions. I think that's the one that takes the longest. I have not done it, so I can't really speak truly to that. I've not done Match either, so I can't speak to that one either. But
actually, I did.
From what I understand, those two take longer.
Yeah, I would say I did eHarmony many years ago, and I did find good matches. But then, which I've mentioned in the previous episode, I gave some of the benefit of the doubt of their pictures. I'm like, all right, surely he's going to look like his best picture. And we talked for 4 hours on the phone. We totally got along. Like eHarmony does match you with the people that you would be compatible with, but then there's the component of the attraction or not, and that is where I did not have a good experience, and I gave up after a couple dates. And then Match, I was on for quite a bit. To me, Match is really good because you can write as much as you want. So if you're, to me, again, if you're very specific in what you're looking for or about you, then they know if you're a good match or not. Like they can see plenty of pictures. You write enough stuff about you where someone might be just like completely drawn to what you wrote. I know people have gotten married that way because everything they said was like exactly how they think. And then there was attraction too. So it was just like, a no-brainer. They got together and pretty much were boyfriend and girlfriend after that. So those are definitely the longer ones. I think the other apps we mentioned are kind of, just quick way to meet new people and see new faces. I was going to say,
I think it's that transition from online dating to offline dating. So it's like find a pool of people, that you can, go and do things, especially now, find things that you can go to that are good events, and then you can have an opportunity to meet other people.
Yeah. Although I have to say,
there's opportunities.
Because things are open now, I actually went to a hockey game in my town, which is DC area. And it was like half people in masks, half people not in masks. And there was a ton of people. So like there were 2 guys in front of us at the hockey game who we could have gone to drinks with, but my friend was too shy. And we both thought the other one didn't want to go. So we did not. But that's a good way to meet people too, obviously. And because this is the end of season 1, this might be a shorter episode. We just wanted to thank you guys for listening. We wanted to get some information out about online dating because I know a lot of people are kind of against it. But then, as Krista just said, going from online to actual in-person dating is where everyone wants to get. So anything else you want to say, or just going to wrap this one and be a little shorter?
I think that was it. I wanted to just really encourage everyone, the more no's you get, the closer you are to the yes. So don't get too discouraged about anything that happens. Don't think things personally. We've all had good experiences and bad experiences. So just remember, it's at this point in time, it's kind of a numbers game. Who you just got to go out and meet people and give it a whirl and see how it goes. So, but thank you all for listening. Thank you. Happy holidays. And we'll see you next year.
And real quick, now that you said that, I just wanted to say, it's like 25-ish to 15 is, the number you have to get to finally meet, or not finally, to potentially meet someone that's really great. So yeah, definitely hang in there. And we all have good and bad experiences, like you said, so you're not alone if you think it's not great. And there was one more point I wanted to make, and I totally forgot it, but someone made a comment in a Facebook group I'm in about online dating, but we will just have to do that next year. When I remember it, so I will write it down and make sure we do it in January.
Yeah. Well, we do have a Facebook group, so look for Straight from the Source's Mouth Facebook group on Facebook. And I think we're going to be starting an Instagram page.
Yeah.
if we don't already have one?
Yeah, we have one. It's under my because I used to do stand-up comedy, and I still do sometimes, but it's under that. So yeah, it's at Tamara_Scone_comic. But and we have Twitter, and Twitter is under just the podcast name, but also just at Tamara Podcast. But then the logo, of course, shows our stuff. But yeah, definitely like, follow, subscribe, leave a review if you really like it. We would appreciate any and all feedback. And also there's a website actually of the same name. And the website, there's an email. You can email us through the website, and then we'll get your questions and suggestions there as well. So thank you once again.
And we'll give you a shout out.
Yes. Yeah. Because
if you make a suggestion.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we love that. All right. And thank you very much, Carissa. Thank you, everyone, for listening. This is a wrap for season 1. We'll see you back next year.
Thank you, Tamara. Happy holidays, everyone.
Frank Talk, Sex and Dating educates.